Hello, everyone. Welcome back to chapter 4. We did skip chapter 3, so if you would like, please read through that. You will not be tested on chapter 3, but it is a really fun chapter to look at how social media has progressed. Chapter 4 is all on digital analytics and the industry players. So, this chapter covers all the types of data. So, first, second, and third party data, first party data, second party data, and third party data converging, and data and digital analytics maturity model, and then the exploration of jobs and how you can use these skills to execute jobs in web analytics. Okay, so let's talk about first party data. First off, this is kind of the one that every business wants to have. First party data focuses on concepts of ownership, control, and privacy. It is an extension of the types of operational and customer information organizations already collect. It is extremely valuable data for mining consumer insights because it is the relevant information for a marketer that has collected his or her own audience. First party data is collected on past actions taken by consumers, so it is limited to current and past customers. So it has to be first party data isn't from other companies. It's from your company, what you know about your consumers at this point in time. It isn't future. Now, you can use first party data to predict what your customers may do in the future, but it is, again, limited to previous customers and what current customers are doing right now in real time. Examples of first party data would be your email list. So, who has signed up to get emails from your organization? Customer relationship management, CRM. We talked about this a lot in chapter 1, and we will do more talking about CRM later. Purchasing data stored within in-house data. So, purchasing the data in first party data collections, it has to be in-house databases. It can't be companies that's selling you data. It is an in-house database. They're slightly different. Data on social media channels like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat. That is all first party data because it is based on your organization. It uses collected retargeting for the website, Facebook, and customer relationship management systems through display ad campaigns. As more information is extracted from consumer personalization, the rate of conversion will grow. Second party data. Second party data isn't as known and it's not as used as much. Second party data is data collected through other organizations, companies, or individuals and given to a marketer. So these are the people like data analysts that may come in. You may hire somebody to collect data and then they give it to the marketing organization. The marketer may have little or no control over the relevance or the depth of the information collected by the second entity. The examples of second party data is seen in like banking and credit card agreements. This happens a lot. A lot of times when you sign up for a credit card, organizations can actually get that information, not your credit card number, but just kind of the information about you. And that's an example of second party data. In small print, most of the banking and credit card agreement statements detail permitted cases of customer data. So you actually sign away your right, and you probably didn't know because nobody ever reads the term of agreements. Among the clauses, there is a statement where both the information gathered from customer activities and are shared with affiliates or business partners. Sometimes customers cannot opt out of the second party data arrangements. This is so common. And a lot of times in websites too, they will say like, you can't opt out. Like they are our preferred customers, but normally you pay to get that to be a preferred customer. Third party data. Third party data covers data collected, aggregated, and sold by other companies. Often first party data. So when you have this first party data and another company like really wants it, you can sell it, and that's called third party. Marketers who purchase third party data can take into consideration these issues. Their interference of demographics versus demographics and predictive modeling versus data collection. That is a lot of words that you probably do not know right now. Do not stress. Just take it for a grain of salt. We're going to get into all those. It's basically all different chapters later down the road. Some third-party data companies can use predictive modeling in their practice through sampling and other statistical methods. While these tools can be helpful for marketers, they should be informed at lengths of statistical models being used. And interfering in demographics can be problematic. They are assumptive of nature and data and may not be like what's real for that other organization. Second and third party data have been very controversial lately due to the California Consumer Privacy Act and the GRDP, which is based for the European Union citizens. Both of those laws and regulations are preventing consumers from having data collected about them if they don't want data collected. In Europe, you have to actually opt in. Businesses can't automatically track, and that also goes for businesses in the United States can't track about the European Union. But in California, they can go ahead and collect. But if you want to opt out and erase all your data, you are allowed to. Examples. So let's look at some examples of Macy's website and stores. Macy's first party data is collected by web analytics from website activities. Information may converge and provide insights, such as hovering activity on different shirts, different colors, and a point of sale. Macy gains its knowledge of who is a prospect, where their demographics and psychographics information, and then other merchandise that individuals may be interested in purchasing from this data. It may also be using the intelligence to predict time-sensitive purchases and the price adjustment for the shopper. To include second-party data, buyer information may be purchased from Amex or Citibank on credit card activities from Macy's online shoppers. The purchase data combined with the local store's point of sale data to predict what shirts to show a shopper from a specific region. So they're using this data from Amex and Citibank credit cards of how much somebody's going to spend and where they're located, when how much they're spending on what type of merchandise. Yeah, you can do that as a digital marketer, and it's legal as of right now. And here's another example, the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The Met has been trying to figure out who is a customer, but it falls short of achieving its goal despite its best efforts. Most visitors, 83% based on co-author research, are tourists and visits the museum just one time. It's problematic for the Met to collect sustainable revenue when the suggested museum admission is $25, but visitors can pay whatever they like. However, unless they pay with a credit card, the Met will know next to nothing about the visitor, as it does not collect an email address, mobile phone number, social media handle such as Twitter or Facebook account. So, how the Met could collect visitor data: each time a museum visitor uses the free internet that is the museum provides, the device ID on the mobile device can be collected and saved in an app. And every time the vendor logs in, it maintains the Met's wireless network. Yeah, you can also track the IP address based on the mobile device that's logged in on your Wi-Fi. By partnering with the ISP, the Met can look up the ID and perhaps determine the customer's demographics, clickstream behavior, income bracket, cable viewing habits, ComScore, Nielsen's, the ISP, and who they've been selling anonymous first-party data to their clients, applications they're running on their mobile device. You can access all that when you give your phone, when you connect your phone to the Wi-Fi, especially if it's not protected. Another thing they can do is visitors in the museum typically take several selfies and tweet, post, or create videos at the museum. Much of the data is public and can be captured on the internet, along with the locations within 20 feet of the museum's content. The data can be collected in real time using heat maps, and that can actually be done on Google for free. iBeacons, they can be set up at the Met, but they are usually not in every exhibit. They kind of track where you're at. Twitter hashtags have been set up for most exhibits, but it's unclear how well they will be used or how they represent their audience's behavior and feelings about an exhibition. The Met launched a mobile app a few years ago that can be made for it to work with iBeacons, which is a Bluetooth technology, and it assists museum goers to look at like what the art is while they're viewing on the Met app. So they can kind of Bluetooths their phone to this photo, and it gives them more information. And it also allows like the Met's digital marketers to know what they're interested in and what they were looking more at. Third-party web analytics data. Web analytics is an example of first-party data. Provides data on what is happening in an organization or business website by placing cookies into a visitor's browser. Web analytics lacks competitive or industry data outside of tracked websites. Most organizations would like to know how well they are competing in major areas connected to their business goals and revenue for few expectations. So, Google Analytics provides anonymous benchmark data collected to see if it's useful and provides some idea of how the website's performing against others in the industry. And we will look at that throughout our study of Google Analytics. Other platforms like IBM, Core Metrics, and Adobe Analytics, which cost money, which is why we're not using them in this semester, they include industry-wide metrics gathered from customers running analytic platforms. They also use third-party audience data like Comscore and Nielsen, and you will get a chance to work on Nielsen. It is free. That have been combined with Adobe Analytics and some customer implementations. Comscore is like credit score, and then Nielsen actually segments you based on your lifestyle and personality and within a zip code. It is very similar to the Ezra website, which we will be working with. Third-party data ecosystem. The data is created by various third-party vendors, and it varies in quality, usefulness, and cost. The biggest issue around third-party data vendors is the final product may not be like what you were looking for, and it could also contain hidden bias. There's little to no regulation of third-party data ecosystems right now, and it is possible for some data being sold to be highly inaccurate. There's almost no way to know for sure if it is accurate or if it's not. Combining multiple third-party data sources into one data is a recipe for a disaster. So they're taking several different data systems and combining it into one and selling it as a third-party data. That is not a good way to get your data. It's very incorrect. Except for retargeting purposes, the best way to work with third-party data is to present it in a side-by-side next to first-party data for trending purposes. So you should look at your third-party data and notice like how similar it is to your first-party data. The digital ecosystem. So you have publishers, data owners, data aggregators, data exchanges, and networks. Now I'll let you guys go through what the role the digital ecosystem people make up. So please go through this. This is all what is acquired and provided. Third-party data aggregators, what they do. Aggregate behavioral data is an audience of members from online publishers like the New York Times, web portals, and Yahoo that repackage and resell them to other organizations. Yahoo is one of the best, has the best privacy policy because they actually explicitly state who they sell their data to. That does not mean you don't want to use them, but if you have a Yahoo account, they explicitly say who they're selling to. Where other people probably say like, our trusted vendors, but who is that? Like they don't say. They just say like, we're selling your data. You probably don't know that, but every privacy policy says this. Yahoo just has a very transparent privacy policy. They provide data collection scripts for publishers to run their sites and allowing third-party data aggregators to collect the data from publishers and portals as the ad network or from revenue share agreement. Providing third-party cookies list for sale to an advertiser agency that are used for ad targeting, which we will cover in other chapters as this states. The cookie list is available for bidding within minutes, particularly for an in-market audience, and has a shelf life of up to 2 months. This is just like comparing the popular web analytics. We will use Google Analytics because Adobe is costly. And then Web Trends. I'm not as familiar with Web Trends as I am these two platforms. Web Analytics' job is to capture data, report and forecast engineer. You have to have a business cultural consultant, and then site content optimizer vendor and marketing optimization vendors and analysts. All of these roles play a huge element when you're looking at web analytics. And by the end of this semester, you all should be qualified to be each one of these job roles. And you make a lot of money. Some more common web analytics issues is vendors and web analytics platforms are not identical to people. They are cookies and the cookie values, which is first-party data. It's accurate count of web users. It is not the same as an actual user, as the same user might be accessing the website through multiple devices. So even if you have like, you're the same person, you might log into like Tiffany's website from your computer. You may also log into it on your phone and it's sharing the same cookie. Web analytics does not capture a variety of traffic produced by the customer's journey, and meaningful data is hard to isolate and find due to excessive amounts of generated data through web analytics platforms. Stakeholders often are using the wrong key performance indicators or KPIs, such as likes and shares, followers, because it's easier to gather them than others. KPIs will be extensively talked about in other chapters. This is kind of an introduction of saying the digital marketers are looking at the wrong metrics to prove what's right. So, in summary, we talked about the first, second, third party data. You're going to talk a lot more about it throughout this semester. We talked about how it's very flawed and the industry is not perfect at the moment, and what jobs you can get through being really good with web analytics. So, as you are finishing this chapter, go through and ask yourself, what is the difference between first, second, and third party data? What types of data does the web analytics typically collect? Why do marketers buy data from third party aggregators? And what is one common issue that with all web analytics platforms? Then compare various web analytic job roles. The reader find any of them appealing from a career perspective? If so, why? If not, why? So go through and ask yourself these questions. If you have any concerns or you can't find what you're looking for, please reach out to me via email. I am here to help you, and I love talking about this. So other than that, I will see you next week. Talk to you soon.